time for another recipe video. Well, good morning everybody. It is time for a recipe video, and today we are making something out of the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. It is an egg recipe, so it's good for breakfast, but honestly you could just make it anytime you want. This is one of the best loved recipes in this book, and it's one of my favorites too. So today we are using this spinach quiche recipe to actually make a spinach frittata. I've made this recipe tons of times. I have never made it as a quiche. I've always made it as a frittata, and it's really delicious. It's not one that you can save and reheat. Reheated, it is not too good. I mean, reheated eggs. But I think you will enjoy it. So let's get started. Here's what you're gonna need. A pie plate. This is a 9-inch. A nice big bowl, because you've got to mix all these ingredients together. A measuring cup for liquids. A 1/4 teaspoon measuring spoon. You will need salt. You will need white pepper. You will need ground nutmeg. Well, actually the nutmeg is optional, but I use it. You will need baby spinach, sour cream, a yellow onion, just using half of this. You actually need light whipping cream, half and half, or milk. However, we have just recently come through Hurricane Milton and our stores have been wiped out. So there's like no dairy. This heavy whipping cream was literally the last one on a bunch of empty shelves. All they have are like the non-dairy stuff in the dairy case right now. I don't know if it's because they had to throw it away, or if it's because everyone lost electricity, and then once the electricity came back on, everybody had to sort of replace all that kind of stuff. They also didn't have sour cream. I luckily already had this. Anyways, back to the ingredients. You will obviously need eggs. The recipe calls for 8. I only use 6. Why? Because I'm very afraid of this overflowing. It gets very full. You will need shredded Swiss, shredded mozzarella, and some delicious bacon. Now, I've never made it as a quiche, but you certainly can make it as a quiche if you wish. There's a recipe in the book for how to make your own pie pastry, but I mean, you don't have to make your own. You can buy them from the store, and that's a lot easier and a lot faster. So here's the directions if you want to do it as a quiche for the pastry. All right, you are going to line a 9-inch pie plate with the pastry. You're going to trim it and crimp the edge. Then you're going to line the unpricked pastry with a double thickness of foil, and then bake it at 450 degrees in the oven for 8 minutes. Once that's done, take it out, remove the foil, bake it for another 4 or 5 minutes, because you're just trying to make sure that the pastry is like set and dry. Once that's good to go, then you're going to reduce the heat of the oven to 325, and you're going to get going with the rest of the ingredients. So the next one is going to be to get 6 slices of this bacon and half of this onion. You're going to chop up the bacon, you're going to dice the onion, and you're going to cook them together. You want the bacon to be crisp and the onion to be soft, because you don't want like crunchy raw onion in your frittata. That would just not be good. All right, so let's get started with that. It would help if I turn the pan on. gotta tell you, when you're cooking bacons and onion, it's gonna smell real good in your house, okay? With the leftover onion, I just slice it and then I'll freeze it. I know people are like, you're not supposed to do that or whatever, but I do it. Because what am I gonna do with the rest of this onion? Throw it away? So I'll freeze it and I'll put it in a baggie and I'll freeze it and I'll use it for a different recipe, like when I make pork or something. All right, so we're going to make the mixture together now. Let me move this stuff over here. This is what you need to do. First, you're gonna put the eggs in. Let me pull my trash over.
Nobby.
Then we're going to put in the sour cream. You're going to need half a cup. And this is how much it'll look like in the bowl. See, like, I don't usually measure because, like, I know about how much to put in, like, just by the, you know, like, the looks of it. Because then, now look, I have another thing to wash. You know what I'm saying? Who needs another thing to wash? Next, we're going to put in our half and half or light cream, which we don't have, so it's got to be heavy whipping cream this time, and it's going to be half a cup as well. Alrighty, let's pour that in. Now we're going to add the salt, pepper, and nutmeg. You are going to use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. One-eighth teaspoon of the white pepper. About like that. And just a dash of the nutmeg. Oops. We do it like this. A dash. Let's take a look, see what's going on over here. Now we're going to add in the spinach. You should add 3 cups of lightly packed spinach. I'm not going to measure that. And this spinach, listen, like I mentioned earlier, the stores are low on a lot of things. I went there was like no lettuce. I was lucky there was even spinach. I am not going to measure. I'm just kind of going to do like, because this spinach is not the most fantastic looking spinach I've ever seen, so I'm just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like, let's just be picky about the spinach we're adding in here right now. All right, that should be okay. Now let's add the cheeses. You're gonna need 2/3 cup of mozzarella. That should be good like that. And then 1/2 of the shredded cheese, or 2 ounces. I'll do about that much. Looking at the amount that this is, I think we're going to be able to add the other 2 eggs. And it'll fit fine. Let me grab those.
It's the fast news.
now I'm gonna take the pie pan. I'm just gonna put a little tiny bit of oil, just so we don't have any stickage, like so. And let's pour it in. Here we go. It's actually quite beautiful. The color of it with, you know, the light yellow with the green from the spinach, and then the beautiful color of the bacon. And then you can see why I get a little nervous about it overflowing, because it really does like fill to the top here. But look at the color. I just try to spread everything out so that there's, you know, I see bacon and spinach like evenly distributed on the top here. All right, make sure it's all good. All right, so this is gonna go in the oven at 325 degrees for 45 to 50 minutes. If you're baking it with the pie crust, you might want to cover those edges with tin foil while you're doing this step so that the crust doesn't get burned. It's a bit fluffy, wouldn't you say? I don't know why it's so fluffy. I whisked it too much. I put too much air into the eggs. Anyway, this has to sit. Don't try to eat it as soon as it comes out. It tells you to let it stand for 10 minutes before you serve it, but I mean, I don't really think you need to eat 10 minutes. What I would suggest is that you eat it with toast. So get your toast in the toaster, get that toast in, butter it. When that's done, slice yourself some and get to eating it. Let me show you it. The fluffiness did settle down. This is what it looks like. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. Just imagine you're like people that have guests to your house, okay? Or, you know, you have like guests stay overnight or whatever, and like you make them breakfast and you make this and it's gorgeous. And they're sitting at the table and they're waiting to be served by you. And you have a beautiful stack of fresh toast, maybe some orange juice, maybe some fruit or something. And then you bring this out of the kitchen and you set it in the middle of the table. I'm salivating. And it's absolutely gorgeous. This is impressive. Impressive in looks, impressive in taste. They'll never forget. Let us cut it. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go right here. Seriously, I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut right there. Make sure we're good. Get it nice and under there. All right, let's look when it comes out. See that? Set it right in there. I am ready for this. Let us begin. I'm gonna get this piece over here by the crust. Well, there's not a crust, but see, like this piece, because I can see it has bacon and spinach and all the stuff in one bite there. Ready? Oh no, I'm losing it. hot. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, it's so hot. It's so good. Like, it doesn't taste spinachy at all. Definitely just, you know, like the texture of the spinach is there, so it's not like you could, you know, pretend like the spinach isn't there. But it's not, there's nothing in it that is like this overwhelming taste, but it's like something about, like, it's just the texture of it is really kind of like creamy. It's not mushy, like the egg is cooked through, but it's like creamy. The spinach and like the nutmeg and the bacon, it's like, it's so fucking delicious. Do you hear me? Look at this. Look at this bite. Can you stop playing with the oven, please? Look at that bite. Here we go again. Y'all, I know every time I make a recipe, that's like one of the ones that I've been making for a while, I'm like, this is so delicious, but it is so delicious. Like, you can't, I'm telling you, you have to serve this to people. And like I said, it's not good for leftovers anyways. So like, it's like, you have people over, or for Christmas or something, like a Christmas breakfast, you make that, shut the front door, man. Oh my goodness, look at it. It's just the perfect combination of everything. It's so good. Just look at that. I mean, and you can see, like, the egg is fluffy. It's cooked all the way through. But there's like the cheese or something, or the cream. It's just, there's got this creaminess to it. Like, it's so good, and everything just goes all the way through. The bacon, the spinach. It's, once again, this is a recipe out of the Better Homes and Garden cookbook. All right, I have this limited edition one that my mother and ex-stepfather got for me a very, very, very long time ago. You've got to have a book like this because there's so many good recipes you can try. I love this. I love this. And again, this is the spinach and quiche recipe. I don't make it as a quiche. I make it as a frittata. But whatever, it's still delicious this way. All right, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will put the thing at the end for you to watch my other recipe videos as well. And if you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing because that helps the channel and it makes me very happy. All right, thanks for watching.